Right, welcome to a very good morning. I was on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Your best channel, best football analysis channel here on YouTube in terms of everything tactical on the field, off the field, post match, everything. The best places here on Fiifi-Manfred for you on YouTube. If you are new to the channel, of course, then you are at the very best place for you to come. Subscribe to the channel right now. Right now, pause the video, go back, subscribe to the channel and turn on notification. It's important for you to subscribe to the channel and turn on notification. In the notification turn, do well to choose all, just so anytime that there's content over here, you are first to have it here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. It's very imperative that you can go in there and get a job done here. Very important. Say, we are new to the channel, they are subscribing. You're fast. Once you see me here, it means that there's something new for us to go into a lot of news in and around the world of sport. Yeah, by share, go on, we'll discuss, we'll delve into it, we'll get into the nitty-gritties and give you the best of updates on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. But first off, we invested here last night. I'm sure you won big, big win in two codes span a boy. I catch you say once we started on Monday, it means that we're going to go on a streak. So we won on Monday, we won yesterday, and of course today's codes are also there. Usually when we start like that, we go at least 4 to 5 days streak into the third day. One Trebi and Nadia, then today is a big opportunity for you. Go and pick up the codes in the description of this video. Just go to video description. Once you tap on the video, go to video description. You find the codes over there, or just go to Fiifi-Manfred on Facebook, Fiifi-Manfred on Twitter, Fiifi-Manfred on all social media handles. You are going to see the codes there. Give yourself a good chance at winning today, because the games are going on in there. Champions League final round qualification, Women's Champions League final round qualification, or Europe, internal. Any of the codes in the amount, you win something today. So go and stick. Of course, on the other side of the conversation, and the games a lot of things to go on. Let me say a big and quick thank you to Yesimo. I've said it several times. Yesimo are the best spare parts dealership shop in Ghana. Go to Obosokai right now. Go and look for Yesimo spare parts dealership shop. Obosokai post office. All the dealers in every type of spare parts wherever you are, whether in Accra, whether you are outside of Accra, whether you are not close to Abosokai, just take the car there. When you're close to it, he will send the stuff to you quickly. Any form of spare parts, or be at the amount, or friend, or outside of Accra, or inside of Accra, you're not close to Abosokai, friend, or be delivered the amount 059 313 8221 059 313 8221. I've not contacted Diego Jersey, my man. Diego Jersey. Contacted Diego Jersey here for me. On a very top guy in terms of jerseys. Open jerseys. Yeah, then contact Diego Jersey or Kumasi Atosu High School Junction. But call him if you want him delivered to you. 054 62 79 512. 054 62 79 512. For Diego Jersey. Fast. Let's see. Also, social media be. Now probably be handle amount probably social media brand strategy the amount brand social media and the amount for work and stuff like that. And then there is a gentleman called Top Notch Digi Services. Anything digital branding of your social media and stuff like that. So over here money the amount. Call him on 054 3317 054 3317 7088 or 054 3317 088. One friend, intend to take care of you. See, I didn't expect Senka, Mqdrid, Ter Stegen, and Semno will take the thing that he has taken. I mean, essentially, captain of football club Barcelona, but I said one injury issue, one summer. Maybe Mqdrid, Ter Stegen has not handled the situation very well. Maybe Barcelona themselves as a club have not managed to also deal with the situation in itself very well. And probably that is what is probably going to cause the rifts now that may come between Football Club Barcelona and Mqdrid, Ter Stegen. Now, what are the details? Mqdrid, Ter Stegen is supposed to do the surgery, and in front of sport, they call it the controversial surgery or the surgery controversial. Or what creates a surgery over France in the city of Bordeaux. I mean, or yeah, with a doctor called Emilia Iglesias. I mean, very, very top level specialist in terms of the lumbar surgery. Kalamba, we're talking about your back. Lumbar surgeons. Oh, Frank sort of. No, no, yeah, first one, or yeah, first one. There have been some other complications, and bars are going back. So, but Makande Ter Stegen came onto social media and posted or no the idea of how the surgery is going to go, how long it will take, and then when he's going to get back. Ideally, players don't do this. In fact, players will come and tell you about surgery and stuff like that. They won't tell you when they'll come back because it's not their job. Their job is it's with respect to the experts who are supposed to give you some of this information. According to Makande Ter Stegen, he did consult certain experts and they gave him that information. I don't think say lumbar surgery recovery will take will take just 3 months to recover. No, especially since Makani Stegen just came back from a knee surgery recovery. I mean, the back and then the limbs are most likely linked and maybe it might affect, it may delay the recovery time for him. So it was important for him to allow the club to come out. I like how Barcelona approached the situation. Barca did not particularly try to oppose what Makani Stegen said. They just put it out that, oh, my club captain is going to do A, B, C, D, blah, 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 outside Bordeaux. And when he comes back, everything is going to be sorted, which I think was a very, very smart thing. But at the end of Makani Stegen, for a lot of people, maybe it is just the goalkeeper putting out information about unnecessary joke and where he will come back and stuff like that. No. Really, that possibility of what Makani Ter Stegen put out has a possibility of affecting Barca financially. I'll explain to you. Because one, I think that this is a captain who has broken ranks in all intent and purposes. I don't think that as it stands now, Hansi Flick or Deco are going to be excited about how Makani Ter Stegen has handled the situation at Football Club Barcelona. I don't think so. Now, sir, we keep on saying, he said, when Makani Ter Stegen go and do the surgery for Nechina, La Liga most likely now it will free up space for Barca to register a bunch of Juan Garcia. But these are the details. You can't use that opening for players that are only out less than 5 months. So, say maybe a player out for just 2 weeks. You can't say that just because they are injured for 2 weeks. Or they another player, you don't do it like that. It has to be at least up to 5 months. 5 months, or let's say 4.5 months towards the 5 months going thereabouts. That is where you can say, okay, fine. This player and the recovery, it will take 4+ months. And then, of course, they say, yeah, the replace will be our salary cap. Also, it has to be 80% of our player and the salary, the gross salary, gross before taxes. You replace all of that with a new player. Barca, for assistants now have not registered a bunch of Juan Garcia. So at the end of Makani Ter Stegen came to do really was denting financially to them, because if World Club captain come out and you tell the public that you are going to be out for just 3 to 4 months, what it means is that this number is below what La Liga usually do. Now, Makani Ter Stegen as it stands now takes somewhere in the region of 12 million euros. So it means that close to somewhere around 1 million euros. That's how much Makani Ter Stegen takes in a year. Now, give or take. Inside 5 months or 4 to 5 months, we are looking at somewhere in the region of 4 million euros that he can free up for. That can also go into the payments of Abantia, your friend of Juan Garcia. I don't think, say, Juan Garcia will take the same amount of money. So, because if it is 1 million, then you're talking about 250,000 weekly. I don't think so Juan Garcia will take 250,000 weekly at Football Club Barcelona. I think that is going to be less, somewhere around 150 to 200,000 for Abantia, friend of Juan Garcia now. It means that Sebastian Fokker can also get extra money there to do that. Something that purely makes a lot of sense for them. And if you heard that Barca would like to strip of Robert Lewandowski of the captains here, then you know where it's coming from. It's essentially coming from, certain level of, say, Barca only believe that Makani Ter Stegen has broken ranks to them, because you as one player, you have been unreliable for a long time. Last season, large part of the season, Makani Ter Stegen wasn't playing. 2, this is the same player where last season, in certain points of the season, where when he retained, Barca needed him, he decided not to join the team. People don't know. In that game away at Inter Milan, Makani Ter Stegen was not with the team. As club captain to go and support the team. So fast, he was not going to be the number 1 goalkeeper in post. He did not travel. Something that the club already did not like. These are some of the other things that people will hardly find out unless they are being mentioned. And again, When you consider all of these things, then you come and put such sensitive, vital information that you are not supposed to put out. I mean, those details, you can say, oh, you are going for your surgery and what's not and stuff like that. But for you to come and put out that sensitive information out for Barca, for the financial people to see and know that, okay, Barca for the they can't come and tell us. So now Barca have 30 days. I have a feeling that Barca will do it way before the 30 days now. If they go on the go, they have to prove beyond reasonable doubt. They have to use their medics, they have to use expert advice, they have to use a whole lot of things. It is true. Mqdrid Ter Stegen will sit out for more than the 3 months that he's saying, more than even the regular 4 months that he's saying, and it's rather close to 5 months that he's going to stay out because that is Barca's plan. The injury opening for them to register Juan Garcia, that is the plan for them to be able to do so. And I mean, if I hear say Mqdrid Ter Stegen has been stripped of his captaincy at Barcelona, I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised not because Ter Stegen is not a good goalkeeper, but I'll not be surprised because at the end of the day, Mqdrid Ter Stegen has proven that maybe Barca cannot rely on him. Maybe he has also emotionally not handled the situation very well. And that is why Barca are going on the ranks that they are going. See, talking about the spaces that Barca can free up our club in the man. Robert Lewandowski from Enra has been a huge target from Saudi Pro League clubs. Now, what is the conversation around Robert Lewandowski? Why are Saudi clubs very much interested in Robert Lewandowski? Why is that now Obi didn't come up by Robert Lewandowski and stuff like that? Robert Lewandowski is turning 36 in August. Now, 36 in European football. I think Robert is even privileged. Last season, he scored 26 goals in all competition. Solid numbers for a player his age. Hansi Flick knows Robert Lewandowski from their days at FC Bayern Munich. Right? Now, my question is that is it feasible for a brand friend Robert Lewandowski to possibly move this window from Barcelona to go to Saudi Arabia now? Yes and no. I think it's 60-40 in terms of feasibility versus unfeasibility. Now, let me delve into the details for you. When you look at Robert Lewandowski is a European. The bigger question is that financially, you have to look at it. You have to look at it from the player's standpoint. The sporting reason in terms of whether how he fits the Barca team, whether he still has importance in the team. So Ofio Kampa, can Barca make do whilst he's away until they get a new striker? And then also from the player's point of view. Now let's look at this from financial. Now if you look at Robert Lewandowski, he takes 20 million yearly from Team friend of Barcelona. Now that means that if you're looking at the 20 million Robert Lewandowski takes yearly, he is only second to Frankie de Jong in terms of the old guys before the new current contracts. The old guys, those who at least take a lot of money. So it means that he takes a whole lot of money. I mean, somewhere in the region of 1.5, 1.6 million per year. So somewhere around 270, 280,000 euros each week from Robert Lewandowski. I mean, that is big money for the context of the Spanish La Liga. And that's the amount of money that he takes. So given the fact that Barca can free up more financial space and how much to buy him for, when he goes to Saudi Arabia financially, they are going to give him somewhere close to 30 to 40 million yearly. So personally, the finances make sense. Two, for Barca's club finances, Saudi Arabia for whoever that will buy him, Al Hilal, Naomi FC, Sion, whoever will buy him, will not pay less than 30 million for Robert Lewandowski. Let's say Freebie, Enyakra, 25 million Robert Lewandowski. You pick Robert Lewandowski because he's left with just 1 year on his contract. Now, the 1 year that's left on Robert Lewandowski's contract, this is where the most intriguing part comes in. Robert Lewandowski and Barcelona have an option to extend if he plays 50% plus of next season's games for a football club Barcelona. Is he going to play 50% games? Will Hansi Flick selecting for 50% of the games? The arrival of Marcus Rashford, does that makes it difficult for Robert Lewandowski to start all of these games? If he doesn't start those games, it means that he can leave Football Club Barcelona for free. As it stands now, are Barca willing to let him go and take the money? Are Barca really interested in the financial part? Now, fine. What does Robert Lewandowski give Football Club Barcelona? He gave them 26 goals last season. And your cry means that we are certain that he can give them at least 20 goals this season. Given the number of chances that Barcelona creates and stuff like that, how prolific Robert Lewandowski is. Now, bear in mind, last season under Barcelona, Robert Lewandowski scored some of the most important goals for Barcelona. People hardly talk about it. So he's a super important player for the club. Now, away from all of that, you look at what he gives to Barcelona, what Barca gets for him, and stuff like that. Now, if Barca are able to let Robert Lewandowski go, he frees up somewhere in the region, gives them about 40 million. Let's see the salary 20 million, that is fixed. The Saudi team buys him for another 20 million. That is 40 million free. That is going to be on the books of Football Club Barcelona. What it means is that they can register somebody and go onto the market, buy someone, and also give that salary at a reduced one to somebody else in the team. Something that will be financially very smart for Football Club Barcelona. But one, when you look at the fact that Robert Lewandowski is an important player, old enough, in a team that is fairly young, and he's playing a transitional role in the team, regardless of how goes, so he has an importance in the team as a leader, playing huge transitional role in the team. What the team gets from him, how he impacts the team on and off the field, the direction he gives the young players, really important, and you can't understate how important that is for Robert Lewandowski. But even in and away from that, away from the importance of Robert Lewandowski in terms of how the club is, how they value him, the importance in there. When you look at all of these things, has Robert Lewandowski also reduced in terms of form? Not form in terms of goals alone, but in form in terms of intensity and then the press scheme. Last season, I kept on analyzing Barcelona constantly. I'll say, Barca don't press with Robert Lewandowski. They allow Robert Lewandowski to conserve energy, sit up, and allow Rafinha and the likes to do the press. Would Hansi Flick expect, okay, fine, now that Robert Lewandowski doesn't have that intensity, we are getting money, let's take the money. Then we can go in hard and press aggressively in games. Is he going to look at it from that point of view, or just purely goals and assists, numbers, data point of view, and on Robert Saudi and every? But even when you look at all of these things, Robert Lewandowski as a player, he has a chance to score 500 plus goals over Europe, something that will put him in the top echelon of strikers. Is that something that he wants to do? Obechusu pedigree as a player. And then also the 2026 World Cup, there's a high likelihood that Poland are going to be there. Obeko rather to Saudi Arabia to conserve his energy to be able to play in the World Cup next year of Saudi Arabia. And I mean, a huge conversation. I mean, the things that the Saudi clubs will ask questions. They would want Robert Lewandowski. They ask more. Barca needs the money. Robert Lewandowski, does he want to go? Does Hansi Flick find him as a player who's untouchable? The contract situation of Robert Lewandowski, for me, like I said earlier, is 60-40 for Robert Lewandowski to go as it stands now. As the day progresses, we'll get more information. We'll come back, we'll reanalyze, we'll look at the data, and then of course, we'll see what Robert Lewandowski as a player wants to do. See, Nico Williams, Inaki Williams, rather, went on to, I know Athletic Club Forum had unveiled him as the new club captain, right? So he was speaking. And in that conversation, Nico went on and Inaki went on and he spoke about how certain clubs, I mean, essentially Barcelona, using the media and PR to put pressure on his brother. I said, see, most of the things clubs do, most of the outlet. That's why for me, when I bring the newspapers, the front pages, it's not about just telling what's on the newspaper. That's why some of the small things that I don't care. For me, it's about the banner headline. I pick it up and I use that as my base to explain and analyze the situation in itself. Because these newspapers are those who are close to the action. I am miles away from Spain. But then again, it gives me a fair idea to analyze it from my point of view, giving other articles and other papers, other sources of information that I have together. And of course, I can explain to you and paint a better picture to you. I said it. Say, everything that Barca were doing was hinged on one, marketing and then PR. In fact, PR can be under marketing because they are doing very good public relations. They are positioning the brand effectively well so that at the end of the day, they'll be able to leverage on that brand positioning as Football Club Barcelona and then attract the kind of players that they want. According to Inaki Williams, it was PR, media pressure on Niniano. And I think that was true. I said it when I was talking about the Inaki Williams thing because Barca did not have the means. Barca were in a tight space. And the idea was that Barcelona, the first move was done by Felix Tainta, and of course, from the point of view of Nico Williams, which nobody disputes that. But away from that, the conversation was that Nico is doing everything to even come there. And they are not really interested in it. But Barca wanted Nico Williams. Barca Yes, the situation was a little bit sketchy, but they wanted Nico Williams. At the end of the day, no official bid went through. Nico Williams extended his contract because, according to his big brother again, they felt at the end of the day, Barca could not hold on to their end of the bargain. If you can register him or not register him, they couldn't see that. And at the end of the day, now they have to find ways that they can sort out the issue of Abentia, your friend Nico Williams. See, finally, Chelsea are close, very, very close. But are they not holding the deal back between Chelsea and then Chelsea and then I asked Amsterdam for Abrantia Refreno, Joao Hato was mainly about the difference in evaluation. Now, I've been saying several times here that I asked Amsterdam, I've been saying, said they want somewhere around 40 million least for Joao Hato. Chelsea followed at signing somewhere in the region of 35 million to 36 million for Joao Hato. Chelsea don't want to overpay for the boy. See, the boy is good. I've said it several times. The leadership quality of a player of that kind at age 19, the versatility he gives you in that role as a fullback, inside centre back, left-sided centre back, overlapping, underlapping, inside, out, the athleticism, the pace that Brian Gerald Hato has as a player, the ability to win duels, the 1v1 ability, the strength that he has in his game. Yes, animal, top level stuff, right? But really, the bigger problem, however, was not in how solid or how good the player is. It's about the evaluation, like I keep on saying. As Amsterdam, as a club, usually don't want to sell the most important players that early at age 19. Now, they want to take their time. Now, almost every outlet I have spoken to, I have DM'd on Twitter, Facebook, whatever, to ask for information and to be able to analyze the situation. Usually in Amsterdam, will tell me that, oh, the deal is done. That's why I keep saying that the deal is done. From certain people who have said several times, who usually, whatever they tell me comes to pass, the deal is done. So I came out to come and say that the deal is done. And I think that the deal is done. The hold up, however, is because of the difference in evaluation. Chelsea don't want to overpay for the boy. And why are they saying this? They don't want to overpay for the boy because only the Renato Veiga Atletico de Madrid. Atletico de Madrid told them that the market value for players like Renato Veiga, even Renato is older than him, somewhere around 20 years now, is in and around the fact that Renato Veiga, will not get up to 40, 50 million for any club in Europe. So if you don't get 40, 50 million for Renato Veiga, then why do you buy the replacement of Renato Veiga or the backup for Marco Creano for 40 million thereabout? So what we are expecting is that Chelsea most likely, I mean, yesterday, if you listen to the news that is coming, according to Fabrizio Romano, David Osteen, and the likes, the update is that Joao Hato is very, very close to Chelsea right now. The evaluation, the gap has closed very much, and he's close to finally being a Chelsea player, and Chelsea are going to have their money. The boy over there, he was clear. He was clear with Heitinga. When Heitinga returned, when we was clear to the, I asked Amsterdam for and say he doesn't want to play for the club in preseason. He doesn't want to risk any injury. And that is where Chelsea's strength came from. The fact that there was the boy essentially told them and made it clear to Ajax Amsterdam and themselves that he wants Chelsea or nobody else. That, for me, that was the best thing that Chelsea could get as a team, for the boy to be clear with them and say that, you know what, this is what we want. We want to make sure that at the end of the day, I'm going to Chelsea Football Club. Two, the fact that the boy himself had agreed personal terms with Chelsea and it was done on his agents and all of those things, all of that was sorted from that point of view. Then, when you look at the conversation of the club, now that puts the club in a tight situation. So, okay, how can we come in and then do the conversation, do a deal around this player? How can we finalize that deal? How can we make sure that at the end of the day, we finalize the deal for Abrantia friend Joao Hato? And now, Ajax Amsterdam are in a place where they have to quickly try and finalize the deal for Abrantia friend Joao Hato. So I'm expecting, say, Friday, Chelsea should be able to finalize the deal for Abrantia friend Joao Hato, for him to be a player for Chelsea Football Club. And I hear a lot of Chelsea fans coming to me and saying that Charlie, Joao Hato deal, no, is it going to come on? We are sure that Joao Hato will come. Joao Hato is going to be a Chelsea player. Joao Hato is going to be a Chelsea player. So, I mean, there are no issues at all. There are no qualms at all. He's going to be a Chelsea player. Now, away from that, I've been a little bit uninterested in the Alejandro Garnacho to Chelsea conversation. Why? I remember somewhere in January, Abraham Mihaly Mudrik issue nearby. There was a link to him. And when you look at the data of Alejandro Garnacho, the link was mainly because he's a direct winger. And that deal probably will come to fruition. And I said, okay, fine. But was Alejandro Garnacho the guy that I expect to come to Chelsea in terms of how good a player he is and what Chelsea wanted? No, he wasn't a player that I personally wanted at Chelsea Football Club. So when Sir Links die off, you realize that the deal keeps on coming. In fact, Manchester United have told Alejandro Garnacho say he doesn't have a place in the squad next season because Ruben Amorim said once Alejandro Garnacho comes back, he'll those players will take them back, but most likely they want those players to go. For some reason, still the murmurs around Alejandro Garnacho keeps on coming up. From Matt Law, all of these guys very close to Chelsea who write for the Telegraph. When you listen to the guys at the Athletic, when you listen to these guys, they're very, very set, they're very clear. That still Alejandro Garnacho most likely can go to Chelsea. See, yesterday I saw something from somewhere that made me take the news serious for the very first time in a long time. Now, why? Chelsea are now realizing that Alejandro Garnacho will fall in the position of market opportunity. It was same for the conversation in and around Mike Maignan. When Chelsea wanted Mike Maignan, they saw that as market opportunity. This is the market opportunity for us. How can we go into the market and get a player that we want on the market, but then not commit too much money to it? So essentially, once Chelsea are done with Joao Hato and Chelsea are done with Xavi Simons, I'm expecting that they will be done in the summer, unless there is a market opportunity. Now, that is where the conversation around Marcus Rashford comes in. Alejandro Garnacho comes in. Chelsea are playing the waiting game. They know that Manchester United have handled the situation in a very, very bad light. Now, the stocks of the player is low. Two, the club has also made it clear to everybody that these players almost competing for. They are not willing to sell them. Bad management of the situation of Alejandro Garnacho. So now, we don't have anything to worry about. We have already sorted out our left wing. We have Joao Pedro who can play there. We have Jimmy Bino Gibson who can play there. There is also Pedro Neto who can play on the left hand side. So essentially, you don't need a certain Alejandro Garnacho. But if you play the waiting game and you wait, initially when Chelsea came up, the first evaluation for Alejandro Garnacho was somewhere in the region of 40 to 50 million. And I kept on saying, Alejandro Garnacho is not 40 to 50 million player. But Chelsea can play the waiting game because you don't need him. And at the end of the market, Manchester United need to sell last minute in the transfer window. That is where you can get Alejandro Garnacho for 15 to 20 million. That is a market opportunity. Very, very good market opportunity. Even if you get Alejandro Garnacho for 20 million, somebody who is an Argentine knows Enzo Fernandez very well. On the left hand side can give you that directness and the depth and quality that you need. Young player, somebody who will come in and Chelsea will not give him a big salary. They will start with him very small and they want to grow him up. I think that is a very, very smart pick. If Chelsea can get that deal done as a market opportunity, not as priority, obviously, because on your priority, the priority is Jimmy Bino Gatons and the guys that are there. Now, officially, Al Nassr unveiled Abrantia friend Joao Felix. I like the fact that after everything, Joao went under the post at Chelsea and he said, "Oh, once a blue, always a blue," and then bowed out of it. And a big opportunity for him to go and play in Saudi Arabia, possibly get time to come back to Europe and then come and compete again. Whether or not that will happen is only a matter up to him. Because what happening, but he has to give it his all. For Abrantia, the friend of Joao Felix and the quality that he takes to the Saudi Pro League. We'll see how the conversation in and around Abrantia friend of Joao Felix will pan out. Of course, guys. Of course, Abrantia friend of Aaron Ramsdale is going to be the new goalkeeper for Newcastle United or English Premier League. Most of these goalkeeper movements, it's not because of business. It's not because of business. Paris Saint-Germain are not interested in keeping on Gianluigi Donnarumma. Gianluigi Donnarumma not decided not to sign the contract. So up to today, Gianluigi Donnarumma, he doesn't have any suitors on the table. There is no club that is interested in Gianluigi Donnarumma openly. There isn't so. So this is a guy who doesn't have natural openness in terms of clubs wanting to sign him. He would have signed a contract extension long time ago. But Paris Saint-Germain are not interested. They would rather take their time. Lucas Chevalier is the next guy for them. Complete goalkeeper. Purely performance. In fact, when you look at the number of mistakes that Gianluigi Donnarumma has led leading to go, why are Barca even bringing in Juan Garcia? Essentially, it's about goalkeepers that take you to the next level. And Gianluigi Donnarumma, yes, he has won the Euros, but last season he was not the best player at Paris Saint-Germain. He was not. He's not even up to top 3 players at Paris Saint-Germain last season. He's not close. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Let's draw the kids in here with respect to today's analysis now. Later in the day, we'll come back. We invested, yeah, go and stick those codes. Bye bye.